Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Yukon Bob Seadoo channel. It's going to be a little shorter trip today. In the last couple of videos, I've been hauling quite a ways, three and a half hours away from home to get out onto the water. Today's a little quicker, just heading up north of me to a pretty big body of water called Lake Simcoe, and I'm going to ride Lake Simcoe. Haven't been out there for about a month now. It was about 4 weeks ago, I think, the last time I was out there. So we're going to just take a little explore around the lake today and have a look. There's a big development project on that lake called Friday Harbour, maybe one of the biggest development projects on any lake in Ontario. We'll pop in there, maybe have lunch and have a little look around there, see what's been going on there this summer. But that's the plan for today, just a little explore around Lake Simcoe, check things out. It's supposed to be a pretty calm day, not the warmest of days, but it'll be okay. I'll maybe bring a light jacket. So we'll see you up at Lake Simcoe at the launch point in a little place called Keswick. We'll be up there in just a little bit. So I've just arrived in Keswick, and guess what? There's something new here that I haven't seen here before. Take a look at this right here at the dock in Keswick. This is normally where I launch, right here. It's just a simple little dock, but look at all of these Seadoos that are here now. These were not here over the last number of years. And the fellow who's looking after the place for Harry, you remember Harry, he's the guy who runs the boat launch here. He's not around right now, so there's another fellow looking after stuff. He was just telling me that they're renting all of this stuff. Rents for 80 or 85?
80.
80 bucks an hour. There's another place down the road renting for 100 plus an hour. So this has apparently been really, really popular this summer. They've been renting these Seadoos. I don't know what we got here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Seadoos. And apparently it's been such a success that they may be ordering 10 more for next year. So, something a little different here in Keswick. If you want to rent a Seadoo, if you've never been on one of these things, you can rent one here and go out on it. And you know what's really neat is that the Seadoo is GPS controlled so that they can program it so that it will not allow you to go at a very high speed while you're in the marina area here and under the bridge and out through the marina until you get out onto the bigger water of Georgian Bay. It knows exactly where you are. Then it'll allow you to go faster. But while you're in here, the speed is controlled through a GPS kind of unit that controls the speed, because some people were whipping through here. So they fixed all these machines so that they're now controlled by GPS for speed within the harbor here. So that's kind of neat. Okay, I think I've got just about everything on. All the camera gear is on. I've got a little extra water. Just going to take that one case with me today. Don't need a lot of gas or anything like that. So I think we're ready to back her in. Just amazed at all these numbers of Seadoos that are in here now, and this whole rental operation that's going on. I think he told me that on a really good weekend here, he can make as much as $30,000 renting these 10 or 12 Seadoos. And then they also have a couple of pontoon boats that they can rent here. But you know, that's pretty good. And I think, you know, maybe like he said, there may be about 10 more coming for next year. 80, 85 bucks an hour. Not cheap. And where can you go in an hour? You need at least a few hours. Anyway, let's get everything hooked up. Well, it is a beautiful morning out here. Probably 20 degrees. It's going to get a little bit warmer than that. And we're going to have very light winds out on Lake Simcoe today, so it is just fantastic. Let's just hope the big lake is as calm and smooth as it is in here in the inner harbor. So I generally use that flag right here at the entrance to the marina as my guide as to what the heck's going on with the wind. And you can see there it's just kind of sitting, drooping down, just rustling a little bit. So that's a good sign. It's going to be fairly calm out there. Just looking at the Garmin here, I don't know what the heck all these tracks of color are out on the lake. Shows me just coming out of the harbor here, but what are all these tracks of color? Green, yellow, orange. What the heck is all that about? I've never seen that before on the Garmin. I'm not sure what the heck that means. If you know what that means, leave a comment down below, because I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is power it off and power it back on again, see if it disappears or see if it comes back, because I've never seen that before. Okay, I think everything is pretty much secure on board. Everything looks good. Let's go. Wow, it's just like glass out here. I think this is maybe one of the calmest days I've had on Lake Simcoe this summer. It is really still out here. It's just beautiful. It was pretty calm yesterday too from the forecast, but today the same kind of thing. So it'll make sea-dooing around this lake a pleasure today. It'll be a lot of fun. Very nice. A couple of guys out there in a aluminum boat just doing a little fishing. All right, so I think the plan's going to be that we're going to just cut straight across the lake over that way to that shoreline. Follow the shoreline up a little bit. There's a place over on the other side called Lefroy Harbor, kind of a neat little place. We'll pull in there, have a little look around, cruise around, see what's happening there, come back out and then head further up the coastline towards Friday Harbour, that big development on Lake Simcoe, which is maybe 25 kilometers, 30 kilometers from here, something like that. It's pretty quiet here today. This is Lefroy Harbor. I've been in here a couple of times and shown you guys this little harbor. It's a nice little protected harbor, lots of boat slips, covered boat slips, uncovered boat slips. And there's a big canvas shop in here if you need to replace the canvas on your boat. Apparently they do that and do a pretty good job from what somebody once told me. This is also, as I mentioned before when I've come in here, this is, they have a dealership here for one of my favorite boats, the Ranger tugs. I was just looking at one online a little while ago. They had one for sale out of this dealership, but I think the boat was somewhere else. It's like a couple $100,000 for a 2014 27-foot inboard diesel Ranger tug. Looked like it was in pretty good shape. But then I haven't seen it listed again, so I assume it's sold. I think they even said offer pending. Diesel and regular. I don't know if you can get premium fuel there. Yeah, I just thought I'd take a little cruise in here. I like to just pop in, have a look whenever I'm up this way. Just kind of come in and out. There's a nice little beach right on the entrance to this little harbor, this marina. You can pull up there with the Seadoo if you want. There's a couple of chairs and stuff like that. So there's a spot to just hang out there for a bit if you wanted to. Some of these little bays through here are pretty shallow. See the rocks and the weeds off the bottom. Wow, hanging right out over the water. Got to be a lot of pressure on the outside of those limbs, the far reaches. Huh. Probably been like that for a long time. So I have a new camera that I'm using. You've seen in the last videos that I bought the DJI Action 4 camera. The same people who make the drones, the DJI drones, are also making action cameras. This one I got a couple of weeks back. So this is my first time actually really using it on the water. It's the primary camera that I'm using today. And what I've had to do is I've had to mount right there a hot shoe thing. I just glued it to the side of the case that comes with the DJI Action 4. I glued the hot shoe mount there so I can mount that microphone system to there, plug it in with the USB-C plug, and that will give me the plug-in for the external microphone. And that was the problem that I had, is I didn't have a way to mount the external microphone on there. Well, now I do. I've got the external mic mounted onto the DJI Action 4. I don't know if you've noticed any difference in video quality. The video quality is not that much different from the GoPro, but what it does do is it has a different mounting kind of system. It's quicker to mount, and I'm hoping that I don't have these battery overheating problems that I had in the past. So that's the new setup. That's the one I'm going to be using going forward. It's going to take a couple of videos to go out and shoot with this new Action 4 to just see how it performs and things like that. The one thing I have noticed about it that I don't like is I have a really tough time seeing what's on the screen on that camera versus the GoPro. And the GoPro, I seem to be able to see a little easier what's on the screen, but with polarized sunglasses on, this Action 4 is really hard to see the screen, and I like to have a little reference by looking at the screen, just, you know, what's being recorded, what the framing looks like, that sort of thing. But I have a hard time seeing that screen with sunglasses on. If I take the sunglasses off, it's okay, but, you know, I don't want to be doing that all the time. So that is one thing I've noticed that is not as good on the DJI Action 4 as GoPro, is just the visibility of seeing the screen. And I do have the brightness turned up to maximum, to 10, so it's not about that, because there is an adjustment for brightness, but yeah, just a little harder to see the screen. And when I want the front screen on versus the back screen, I have to do a little flip with my finger each time. Whereas the GoPro, if I've got this right, has the back screen on and the front screen on. They stay on for a little while, then they go black. But this one I've got to continually switch back and forth as to what screen I want on. And I'd rather that they were just both on, even though that takes a little more battery power. But we're going to play with it over the next little while and just see how much better performance I get out of the DJI Action 4 versus GoPro. But, you know, it's one of those things, you just got to use it for a while. You got to go out and make a few videos, and then you'll have a better idea just what the heck is going on with it. So we've got it working. We're going to play with it over the next little while. Welcome to Friday Harbour. This is it. Probably, as I said earlier, the biggest development anywhere on the water in Ontario. This is a massive project. I don't know how many years ago. It started 7, 8 years ago, something like that, maybe a little bit longer. There's been different phases to the developments, but you know, you get kind of a unit in here, which are usually attached units. And then some of them have dock space where you can moor your own boat in here, have your boat tied up in here as well. They've got a beach club, they've got restaurants, they've got a golf course. They've got fashion shows that they hold here. They've got live music on the weekends, on the boardwalk, all kinds of stuff. So you pay a price for your unit, which is not cheap, and then you pay a monthly fee as well, and you get all of this that comes with it, sort of all the amenities. It's kind of like having a condo. Just all kinds of stuff back in there. We're going to take a cruise back in there in a sec, and I'll show you what it looks like. But I think I'm going to head around the corner over here and just put the drone in the air and take a little flight. Okay, got the drone back, and that is a good thing. So look what I did while I was flying the drone. I was trying to shut that case and kind of bang it down a little bit, and Maui Jim's just shattered both lenses. They must have been in the way, and I was banging down, and it cracked both lenses in the sunglasses. So that's the first little thing of the trip. There's always something, always one little thing that happens. Rarely do I go out where there's not some little event. Well, that's not totally true, but that's today's event. But you can see the weeds here, right near the surface. At least those ones are attached to the bottom. And some of the units have got their own slips, so if you've got a boat, you can tie it up right here. Public is allowed to come in here for day use kind of stuff, use the restaurants, spend your money, obviously. They like that. I bet it was pretty busy in here yesterday, Sunday, but today it'll be quiet. So here's the dock system, I think right up along here that I can tie up to, take a walk around. Looks like a pretty good spot. Just get up a little further. Perfect. But take a look at the docks. This is what I mean, right? They're beautiful docks all along here. These docks are fantastic. Park the Seadoo right along there. They've got all the barriers on the bottom, so you know you're not going to slide underneath and scratch anything up. It's all very well designed. Not sure what that complex is over there. They've got a great big pool over there. Maybe there's an indoor pool in there. I know there's a big outdoor one there. It's a beautiful pool. And then the cranes, I guess, is the next phase of development of what they're putting in here, back further along the waterfront. Remember I told you back a while ago on one of the other videos about those moose things that were all over the lake? Here's another knockoff, a different rendition of one of those. We've seen these on the lakes in different places. There's one up at Perry Sound right at the dock. Here's a different one. I don't know if I'm going to have lunch here or not. I'm not really that hungry. You know, I think I'm just going to do a sandwich. I'm going to grab one of these sandwiches here. Oh, look, this chair comes with ice cream. Wow. That's broken. I wish they'd fix a few things around here at Friday Harbour. Not a bad view to have lunch. I saw this whole project when it was just a scale model in a showroom in Toronto on a developing board where they were just kind of showing you on a model form what the thing was going to look like once they got it built. And here it is all these years later, complete and still adding on. Always good to come in here and have a little look around, just to see the scale and the scope of what they've got in here. It's pretty amazing. Learning to sail at a young age. All sailing begins with one of those little things. A couple of paddle boarders. Let's see if they know how to deal with weight. We'll just go by them. So we're just going to test your balance skill now with a little weight. You guys are doing great. Look at this thing through here. Look at all the kids. This has got to be like a summer camp thing. They've got every kind of inflatable water toy you can imagine. Yeah, it's got to be some kind of summer camp. You're not getting this many kids out on a Monday, but they're having a blast out here. Look at how much fun they're having. The water's warm, and it's an entire world on the water out here. You just go around the whole complex. That looks like a lot of fun. Well, that's Barrie. I've been down to the end, saw Barrie again. I think I'll take off and head way back down there again, way to that point down there, and then make a right and go around the point. Well, it's gotten just a little bumpier on the way back. It's not glass anymore, but it's not really rough either. It's just, you know, some ripple action on the water, which is causing me to bounce a little bit. But I am on my way back, so it'll be fine. When you're watching this video, I will still be down in the South Seas, in Tahiti, in Bora Bora, and in that area. I'll be on a catamaran down there for a week, and then I will also be doing some diving for 3 or 4 days, a couple of dives a day. I'll be shooting some video and all of that, maybe show you some of that when I get back. But I should be back maybe 5 or 6 days after this video goes to air. I don't know if we're going to have a video next week. We may miss one because I'm away. I'm not sure I'm going to get one out next week. So until we see you again on the water somewhere around southern Ontario, I'll wrap it up from here and look forward to talking to you again soon somewhere out there. Stay safe on the water, and we shall see you when we see you. Bye for now.